Detective Ashley McPetty is doing another deep dive into men's spaces and to see what men are saying about women. So let's go ahead and look at what some of these men are saying on social media. For this very first one, if you are drinking anything, please push it to the side. If you are eating anything, please swallow it completely. We do not want to get anything stuck in your throat. Here we have JT. When he is not doubling as a gangster Mr. Potato Head, he is writing some words that are delusional. Let's see what JT has to say. He says, but yet women's intuition is supposed to be 100% accurate when picking men or seeing what's coming in the future. Then you have me, 51-year-old male, that's the pull-out champion of the galaxy, because we all know that's a thing. 0 kids, not because I didn't want any, but because every single American woman was not faithful. Don't see me using intuition and dancing to sky gods for future events. It was maturity that kept from having kids with bad women. So post this admin and sow your best to tear it down. Maybe do your best to tear it down, but okay, that's what he is saying. That's JT. But wait, there's more JT. Here he is looking like a cross between a potato and a thumb. You decide, please weigh in. So JC says, wow, delete the comment. Typical. Then he says this part. This is why I no longer date and marry, as if he was just out here dating and marrying all over the place. He says people don't like debates. They just like to throw out their thoughts, but can't handle a debate on issue they post. Women are that way for a majority of the time. Don't get me wrong. There is plenty of guys with huge egos that do the same. It isn't which a sex. Sorry, I had to make it a little bigger. It says, it isn't a which sex thing. It's about being an adult, being mature. I appreciate you commenting back, saying that you were going to do that. I can respect that part. But the delete part just shows that it is not worth my time viewing your posts when they come across my Facebook feed. I will simply use the see less of this feature on Facebook. Wish you well. I am sure whoever he is talking to will be completely heartbroken that JT will no longer come in with all of his posts and his comments. And anyway, he's the pull-out champion of the galaxy. I didn't know that that was a thing, and now we do. This man says, talking feminism on dates. Male here. I'm curious how many of you go around topics such as feminism on dates. In the recent 5 years, more women I go out with see themselves as strong advocates for equality and fighting hard for their rights. And there's this underlying hate against man. In my honest opinion, yes, there is inequality, but it is getting better. Rome wasn't built in a day. Most of the women are not really affected by this so-called inequality. Please don't start with male privilege. In most cases, they have just been badly treated by man and project their experience on systemical injustice whatsoever. What does that mean? Okay. Also, there is this underlying argument that as a man, you can't really voice your opinion because you are a man. I'm kind of tired of hearing all of those arguments over and over again. I am kind of tired of hearing all those arguments over and over again. It is funny that I have read a lot of books about feminism, Simone de Beauvoir, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, Helen Lewis, etc. But with most of the women, you can't really talk about those topics simply because they are uneducated and just repeat what is general societal consensus. You can't really challenge these views, and this underlying men are bad thing is really annoying. What is really annoying is that he does not know where to use women and woman. That is really getting on my nerves. And he's talking about these women are uneducated on systemical injustice whatsoever. Listen to this paragraph. Right now, I am just skipping these topics when they come up for being laid sake, but wanted to ask how many of you are experiencing similar problems. This part right here. I also annoys me that these views are genuinely accepted. I mean, for hookups, it kind of doesn't matter, but wanting to have a relationship someday, it would really be frustrating dealing with someone who can't argue or voice their opinion intellectually, okay, on these topics instead of just reverts to these generic views. Don't get me wrong, I am for equality, but these underlying hate towards men because of patriarchy is getting out of hand. The few times I have tried to talk about it ruined my hookup. Duh. What is your experience? This man just wants to stuff a hole. There's a hole. It's warm. He needs to stuff it with his wand of sadness. He wants to stuff a hole with his wand of sadness, and talking feminism gets in the way. But why is he bringing up feminism if he just wants to stuff a hole? And he mentions these feminist names, but I highly doubt that this man, who can't even use the proper word woman or women in a sentence, is out here reading feminist literature. I highly doubt that he is reading any kind of literature above a third grade level. Anyways, I just thought that this was funny because in this, he contradicts himself over and over. Yeah, there's inequality, but it's just getting out of control. And these women are just like the patriarchy. Who wants to talk about systemical injustice whatsoever? I know not me. Y'all needed to see this because obviously this man is just trying to get laid. So why is he even talking about feminism? And then when you get to the bottom, when he talks about feminism is just hate towards man, I'm just like, okay. I know for a fact he ain't read feminism. I'm sorry, feminist authors. Why are they even like this? And why is he talking about this in the Seduction subreddit? This is where they just talk about getting laid and getting laid quickly. You can tell when you go into these these subreddits where they're talking to other men, that they are only looking to use women's bodies as an orgasm machine. They want to take their mediocre meat stick and just get an orgasm. And that is the extent that they see women as being just an instrument, a masturbatory tool for their mediocre meat stick. So this man posted in the Seduction subreddit saying, "How do I attain casual sex with girls without trying to set up dates? So I need to be as cheap as possible so I can use as many women's body as possible." That is what he is saying, and he is asking this question. Let's look at this post. Earlier this year, my girlfriend of 4 years broke up with me. During that relationship, I was always seen as the charismatic, well-dressed, confident guy. After the breakup, I took a couple of months to really focus on myself. I dropped some bad habits, picked up healthier ones, got in the best shape I've ever been in, and overall felt strong mentally and spiritually, and he's talking about casual sex with girls without trying to date them. Okay, cool. After that period, I thought I'd be ready to jump back into dating casually. I assumed I'd be able to talk to multiple women, have fun, and keep things light. But the reality has been very different. It's now November, and I haven't actually slept with anyone since my breakup. And at points, it's killed my self-esteem how hard it's been for me. I go out with a group of friends nearly every weekend to bars and clubs, and I figured by this point, just by chance, I would get lucky and take a girl home with me. But no, I've been on some dates, but I've made mistakes like being too upfront about wanting something casual way too early. I also had a lot more approach anxiety than I expected. Now I'm stuck in this pattern where I feel like I'm chasing women. I get numbers or Instagrams, we talk, but I always feel like I'm putting in more effort and I try to set up dates. But really my intention is just to push forward towards sex rather than seeing where things go naturally. And honestly, that mindset feels forced and stressful and not aligned with how confident I am in acting. So he's trying to just get sex. He's trying to use these women for their bodies. And he's just like striking out for some reason. Because like, are these women wanting to not be used? What is going on? I also don't want to keep spending money on date after date when I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm trying to figure out how people are getting friends with benefits situations without spending a lot of money for it. Now, he says friends with benefits, but what they really mean is not friends, but just all benefits. That's what they mean. Are guys really out here just saying, come over and it works? Because I haven't tried being that direct. And honestly, it feels intimidating. I think I'm more of the nurturing, slow connection type, but I don't want a relationship right now. So my questions are, how do you move out of the chasing mindset and get into a dynamic where women also pursue you? How do you express interest in something casual without sounding disrespectful or manipulative? Is being direct. I'm interested in keeping things casual and seeing where things go physically actually the move. And lastly, how are guys getting into friends with benefits situation without spending money on elaborate dates? For context, I go to the bars and clubs nearly every weekend just to pick up girls, but also to try to have a good time with my lads. I'm just above average looking, have a good career trajectory, but I get nervous around attractive women and I don't feel like I'm running pickup lines or playing games. I feel I have low game in Riz. Like I have low game in Riz. I can't just come out and just say, I want to use you for your body. And then women just fall out and then bust it wide open for me. How do I get them to bust it wide open for me and me not have to do anything at all? Not offer anything emotionally, not offer any kind of friendship, not offer any kind of connection. I just want to orgasm and just want to use a woman for her body. Okay, so we get to the point. We got to the gist of it, right? Let's see how the men in this subreddit are responding. Norwegian Doggo says, you're thinking about this the wrong way. I need to avoid dates. No, wrong path. If you do that, you'll make things way more difficult for yourself. You should go on dates, but you should go on dates within your means, like a simple coffee date. Cannot afford a coffee? Then go for a walk together. That's always free. Try to screen for women who want casual too, unless you want to go on dates just for practice. Look for the indirect signs she's open for fun. Here's how to smoothly say you're looking for casual on the date. On the date, say you're not really looking for anything serious at the moment. That's it. That's how you say it. Some women will bounce or reject you at this point. Cool, that's fine. Only about 50% will be cool, and that's more than enough for some casual fun. Good luck. Now, when we're having this conversation, when women are having this conversation about low effort dates, this is the reason why we try to tell y'all to avoid this. You can do whatever you want, but this is what men are telling other men. They are telling other men this because these dudes want to make it as cheap as possible to get to women. So they are telling each other, go on coffee dates, go on walks, and that kind of stuff. And this is why we are telling women, or some women are saying, I don't do these dates. I don't do low effort dates, because they are trying to put in the least amount of effort to get to a woman's body. And you want to see if they will put in some effort for you, if that is what you're looking for, unless you are okay with being a masturbatory tool. Okay Orange responds to Norwegian Doggo by saying he doesn't want to go on dates to have sex. So why are you telling him to go on dates? He just wants a woman's body. Why are you telling him to try? All right, it says, this is a problem today with a lot of men. They will literally sell their souls and jump through every hoop imaginable to sleep with a woman instead of being honest with what he wants and finding a girl who is on the same page as him. It might be harder, but the honest truth is you have to talk to a lot of women and be upfront in that interaction with what you want. Saying something like, hey, I think you're great, but to be honest, I don't want to go on dates, just looking for fun. Then exchange contact info with the ones who are down for this. It's all a numbers game. You'll find a girl who is glad just to F without the obligatory date. But it might take some time. This is the only way without going on a first date. There is no other way around it. I love this advice from Terminator Reborn. He says, giving F-boy energy is one thing that helps. Ladies, do you like that F-boy energy? Please chime in yes or no. I like F-boy energy, or I do not like F-boy energy. She already knows what she'll be signing up for. Beiji says, I think his problem is that he does not know what F-boy energy is at all and needs an explanation of what that is and how to do it. F-boy energy, I just want to use your body for sex and not have any kind of commitment or put any effort in. I mean, it sounds like he knows precisely what he wants. Cash and checks hones in on, for context, I go out to bars and clubs nearly every weekend just to pick up girls, but also try and have a good time with my lads. Cash and check says, stop lying to yourself with the parentheses. That is cope. You already said it. You are going out specifically to try and get women. That's the exact reason you're not attracting them. They can feel that kind of energy and it turns them off instantly. Hot Falcon says, assuming women are naturally interested, staying playfully flirtatious, leaning into innuendo, smiling often, and keeping things light rather than serious has worked remarkably well for me. I love this one from Stalk By. This is the reason why they do this when they're talking to you on dating apps, because other men are saying to do this. Salt By says, sexualize the convo in the beginning and flirt with her and ask her if she want to see your pet, etc., on your place or maybe in your place. Just try this and thank me later. Sexualize the convo in the beginning, though. That is the main point of that advice. These people. Puffy Cheeto says, I wonder this too. There are guys who have casual sex without needing to take girls on a date and buy her a meal. Yeah, y'all just needed to see this. Y'all needed to see this whole thing because of what he was asking for and what the men are advising him to do. This is the reason why they are going to stay lonely. And this is the reason why I just lurk in these spaces so we could just see that you are nothing to them. They want to do nothing with you except use your body. And this is the reason why the low effort, when they start talking dirty and all of that, you need to shut that down real quickly and leave them alone. It's not worth it. Let me know what you think though.